Do you ever struggle with card making stencils? Well, I've been using them for a long time and I have gathered a whole bunch of tips and tricks and ideas on how to use them that will totally up your stenciling game. Hi everyone, I'm Rebecca Keppel. In today's video, I'll be using a whole bunch of stencils and some other card making supplies from the latest Waffle flower release, Magical Christmas. I'm going to share tips and tricks on how to combine die cuts with stencils, how to get great stenciling results, and much more in this video. But first, let's take a look at the new stencils as well as stamps and dies from the latest Waffle flower release. And yes, they do include some postage collage stencils. First up, we have the Birdie Friends in Winter stencil and die set. So you can see there are two different stencils, but they are broken up into several different spaces where you can color in the four birds as well as everything else that's in the scene. There are also dies, so you can cut these out and stencil them, and you can then pop them up on dimensional adhesive if you like, and that's a really fun way to create with these. Here's the open book Poinsettia stencil. Now this goes along with a previously released die, that's that open book die, and now there are holiday images to go inside that open book die. I really love that die, and I'm glad that there's more that goes along with it, including this stamp set, which is the open book sayings stamp set. Next, we have the Postage Collage Vertical Tree. Now, this can be used as is, or you can use it along with the Postage Collage die, but in a vertical format instead of a horizontal format. So that's a really fun addition to the Postage Collage, is having this option of a vertical format and creating these stamps that will actually put together the entire tree. So I'll show you exactly how it works when you die cut that postage collage die and then use it with the stencil. This is the Postage Collage Dear Santa. Now this is the horizontal format that you're probably used to with the postage collage dies, and with this set you can create a really cute Santa Claus as well as two elves, a gift, and then Santa's holding a piece of paper, which is perfect for the Postage Collage Dear Santa stamp set, and I'll show you where that goes perfectly later. Here's the Woodgrain Texture Die. Now this die goes along with and can be purchased with in a bundle the Woodgrain Texture Stencil. So there are two stencils that will create that wood grain look. Here's the Poinsettia frame stamp set. These are great sentiments in really pretty fonts. And the thing that I love about Waffle flower stamps and dies that coordinate is there is a little number on the die that matches a number on the stamp set, so you don't have to figure out what's what. This is the Merry Christmas die. It's the words and a shadow. And here are the masking corner stencil. You can see you can clip or tear those apart and you get two different corners and as well as a center. Now let's just jump into the stenciling, and I'll be providing all of the tips and tricks as we go. First, let's run the open book die through a die cut machine on some white cardstock. When I am stenciling and die cutting, I like to do the die cutting first, and that's because it's much easier to line up the stencil when you have the die cut already cut out. So the next thing I like to do is use a Waffle flower grip mat. Now this is the new black grip mat. This is the size that fits perfectly inside the original Misty. You can take the black acetate off like I'm doing here. You can trim that acetate down a little bit so that it will still stick to your work surface around the edges, but you'll be able to see the black through the top. Now, I am more liking the actual white that you can see, but if you want that black to be able to see your stencil a lot easier, that's how Waffle flower will show you how to use it on their website. So I'm just using it as a grip mat. It holds onto my work surface, which is a glass mat, and then it holds the paper onto the mat as well. You can see I'm holding the stencil. That's just because some of those edges can come up as you're blending over them with ink. Then carefully remove the stencil. Just go slowly, starting with one corner and then pulling the other corner up. because these new grip mats, this version 3 with the black acetate available, they are a little bit stronger. Now, I like that because I want everything to stay in place. I don't want anything to move around because then you get skips in your stencil or you get smudged lines or things like that. With a grip mat, you're going to get the cleanest line you can possibly get. The other thing that I'm using here are the Waffle Flower shader brushes. These are smaller brushes. They are easily handheld and they're great for getting into these small areas of this stencil. So I definitely recommend using a grip mat and these great brushes. I used my bone folder to pull up the edge of that book, and that is because I don't want to use anything sharp on my grip mat, but I do want to remove the edge so that I don't curl it too much when I'm pulling it up. This is the Dear Santa stencil set. So we're moving on. I've die cut out the A2 Collage, Postage Collage die, placed it down on the grip mat and placing the stencils on top. You can see how the edge of the stencil sticks down to the grip mat and the paper stays in place because the grip mat as well. And again, these shader brushes are absolutely perfect for these small areas of stenciling that really just color in the areas that you want colored in. For a larger area, I like to use a larger blending brush. Now, here I'm doing the background of the vertical tree Postage Collage stencil set. And so all of this is going to be one color for me. So I'll use that larger brush. Again, slowly pulling up the stencil. You don't want to tear the stencil and you don't want to use anything sharp on your grip mat to pick it up. So that's the best way to go. Start at one corner and then grab the two corners and pull gently, very slowly. Then I am using in my stencil Distress Oxide inks. These are my favorite inks to use with stenciling because they're very smooth, they're very easy to blend, and they work really well with stencils and these small blender brushes. You can also use every other type of ink on the market. These just happen to be one of my favorites and I use them a lot. So again, if you have a larger area, grab that larger brush. Waffle Flower also has teeny tinier brushes that are perfect for little teeny tiny details, like the black ink that I used for the bird's eyes. So definitely use what works for the job that you're doing. Here, I want a really light look. I'm starting with Catherine Pooler Cotton Candy ink. This is another brand of ink that I love using with stencils, and these Spellbinders large brushes are very, very fluffy and soft, and so it's easy to get a nice soft look with your ink when you're using something that large and fluffy and soft. You can see how light it is. I really want that nice light look. And yes, I did die cut the Woodgrain Texture Die first so that I could line up the stencil and make sure everything is where it needs to be. There are the two stencils, so you get the two colors, and then I'm going over everything with a very, very light hand of the cotton candy ink, and that is just to tone down the white cardstock. So that's another tip. If you have a white area that you want to tone down, just use a light ink to do that. For these little die cuts, the best thing to do is to die cut them out first out of a white cardstock and then place the actual outside of the die cut down on the grip mat. Then pop those little birds like puzzle pieces into that die cut area that's open, and then you can peel off the cardstock. Then you can line up the stencil perfectly. Waffle Flower creates the stencil so that it matches the die cut in the order that they die cut out. So that's why you can use this technique of using the paper to line up those birds. One of my birds came popped out, so I'm replacing the paper once again, putting that bird into the open space, and then I just decided I might as well just keep the paper in there, and to do that, I'll just tape down the bottom because obviously the bottom of the stencil is not touching the grip mat now, it's touching paper, and I don't want it to slide, so I'll just use a little Spellbinders tape to hold that in place. The other great thing about using small blending brushes or shader brushes is that you can create lots of different colors on your stenciled areas. Of course, it's great to have all these stenciled backgrounds and die cuts, but you want to know how to create cards with them. So let's do that now. So to turn all these stencilings into cards, I'm first cutting out the Merry Christmas die. I cut the words out of gold mirror cardstock and the shadow out of vellum. I'm using the My Sweet Petunia Precision Glue Press to get a tiny bit of adhesive behind the Merry Christmas and then adhering it down on the vellum. I die cut the limb that the birds were on. Instead of stenciling it, I die cut it out of gold mirror cardstock, and I die cut the little ornament string that's underneath out of a glitter cardstock. So you don't have to stencil everything if you don't want to. There are also beaks that you can cut out instead of stenciling. And then I just adhered that Merry Christmas and everything down to that wood grain background. For the Dear Santa stencil, I am adding a little bit of gold paint pen to the buckle of the Santa. So I placed the stencil right down on top, and I'm just holding it in place this time because I'm just doing a real quick addition. I realized I covered the whole thing with black ink and I wanted a gold buckle. I am adding some white gel pen details. That is something you can do on top of stenciling, even on top of Distress Oxide ink. Just use a really good white gel pen. I have a couple of suggestions and I'll link those in the YouTube description box below the video. Then I've used the stamp set to stamp Dear Santa and a little message, as well as the 24 cents in the upper right hand corner. And for that, I'm using VersaFine black onyx ink because it stamps beautifully on top of other colors of ink. So it's a pigment ink. It'll sit on top of those inks that you've already used, and it will appear really nice and crisp and black. But it is pigment, so don't touch it for a while because it will smear. Now I'm using the Postage Collage blocks die. I cut out that gold mirror block top that you see there, and I'll place it behind the Postage Collage stencil, and that will give me a tiny little margin of gold, and then you'll see gold through the little holes of the postage. It's not A2 size completely, so I'll matte that on some red cardstock. Then I'll use that poinsettia frame stamp set to create a sentiment that says ho ho ho. Again, I'm using that VersaFine black onyx ink so that it will match perfectly the black that's already on the stenciled background, and I'll die cut that out so that I can pop it up on some dimensional adhesive. Love how adorable the little elves and Santa are here, and the sentiments are so much fun. For the open book that we created, I do have one of the open book sayings from the stamp set, and it says, wishing you a cheerful holiday season. Again, stamping that with VersaFine black onyx ink on top of those Distress Oxide inks. I also cut that open book die out of gold mirror cardstock. You can snip in a couple of areas. It's not fully together, so there's just a couple of areas that you need to snip away, and that'll give you kind of the hardcover of the book. So you can adhere that right down on top, and then you can fold the center a little bit so that it looks like an open book, and I'll place that down on an A2 piece of white cardstock that I did use that Woodgrain Texture Die on top of. I'm also cutting out this quill pen. It's another previously released die that was released around the time that the open book was, and adding that on top as well as just an embellishment in gold mirror cardstock so it's nice and shiny. For that vertical tree stencil, I'm using the outside of that Postage Collage block that I cut out of gold mirror cardstock. So remember, it didn't sit all the way to the edges of A2. So this is the frame that you're left with when you cut it out. So I thought this would be a nice frame for the outside of this card. And then I'll pop up the actual Postage Collage stencil on some Cosmic Sky cardstock. Next, I'm taking some anti-static powder and treating some vellum with it. And then I'll use Versamark ink to stamp a sentiment from the poinsettia frame stamp set. And I'll pour some gold embossing powder on top of that and then carefully heat set it so you don't melt the vellum or warp it too much. And then die cut that out. So once I have that, I just add a little bit of liquid adhesive just behind the words itself and place that down on that stenciled background. I hope you can see why stenciling is one of my absolute favorite card making techniques and why I love Waffle Flower's stencils and stencil supplies so much. But I really want to know what your thoughts are on this new release, so let me know in the comments below. You can find all the supplies that I used today linked in the YouTube description box below this video. As always, I want to thank you so much for stopping by and spending time with me today. Please stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you again soon. Our release. What is it called?
I literally just looked at it.
And use. Okay, one more time. You want to know how to